Hi, I'm Becky, and thanks for taking a break to do some yoga with me today. Today, we're going to have some fun as I teach you how to prop up your yoga practice. Might notice that I'm sitting a little taller today, and that's because I am sitting on our handy dandy block, right? The block is a great tool to use to elevate the hips. It allows you to lower your knees and get some nice length in your low back as you begin pranayama practice or some yogic breathing. And just today, let's tap into our Ujjayi breath. So close your eyes, settle heavy into your hips, and lengthen through the crown of your head. Bring your chin to level slightly down. Your inner body is bright. Eyes are softly closed. Now, as you breathe, gently constrict the whisper muscles in the back of your throat. And as you drag the breath in and exhale out, that constriction creates this oceanic sound. Soft, quiet waves of breath are audible. This breath warms the body from the inside out and creates a sense of well-being and a place to focus on if your mind starts to wander during your yoga practice. The exhalation is slightly louder than the inhalation. Use this Ujjayi breath whenever you wish during your yoga practice today. One more breath in, easy breath out. And the plane flying overhead is a sign to open your eyes. All right, we're gonna come to a different position using our block. It's a supported Virasana. Also, have a strap handy, okay? I'm gonna turn my back on you as I show you how to open your shoulders and your knees at the same time. So, I'm gonna change the orientation of my block the long way, and then I'm gonna sit on my block. Now, before I sit down, I'm going to take my hands and press in the center of my calves and then adjust my block, so that my hips are grounded there. My heels are just gently resting on the outside of my hips. Now, if this does not feel good in your knees, feel free to come back to any kind of comfortable seated position that would feel better to you. All right. Sit up nice and tall. Take your strap in your right hand and then drop it behind your back. Take your left hand, find the strap, and then start to walk both hands closer to one another until you feel a stretch in the shoulders, maybe even the tricep of the right arm. Take a deep breath in, inflate your chest, and then gently press your head back into your right forearm. As your shoulders open, maybe we walk the hands closer together. You may feel this opening in the pectoral muscles of the chest as well. 3 breaths here. Good. Let your hands slowly slide apart and then bring your arms by your sides, wiggle your fingers, get the tinglies out. Now take a hold of your strap in your left hand, drop it behind you again, Reach the right hand back and grab the strap. Now this shoulder might be, this orientation for your shoulders, right, might be tighter. That's okay. We're just gonna work with where we're at. Keep walking the hands together. Eventually, inhale, lift through the crown of your head and maybe press your head back into your left forearm. Ooh, this side for me is much tighter. Interesting. Tone your low belly so that we support the low back. 3 breaths. Good job. Slowly release the strap, let the hands move apart, wiggle the fingers. And we can put our strap aside for the time being. Slide onto one hip, then come back into tabletop pose. So before we do this, I'm gonna remind you or show you, so we have 3 different perspectives for the block. We have the short orientation, the medium orientation, and then the long orientation. And you can pick and choose what works best for any given pose, and I'll make suggestions along the way. So, right now, we're moving into tabletop pose. Yeah, and here's where we're gonna place our block, just above the knees, and I'm gonna use this medium orientation of the block. And the reason I pick that is when I do that, I'm aligning my knees below my hips, and it allows my feet, my ankles to then align as well. Okay? Walk your hands out. Melt the heart into a cow pose. Look up, tuck your toes, squeeze your inner thighs into the block, and come into down dog. So notice, what is this down dog like using the block? You really find your inner leg lines, don't you? Legs are straight, thighs are back. Press the ground away from you as your arms grow longer. But the heart melts down so the armpits hollow out. Good. On an inhale, bend your knees to hover. Good, that's it. Now send the tailbone to the sky. Keep hovering, stay for 4, 3, 2, inhale on 1, and then exhale, down dog. Another inhale breath. Exhale, bend your knees to hover, and then start to walk your hands back to meet your feet for our forward fold. Take the block and place it on the ground in front of you. Now this is really great whenever you want to bring the ground up to you so you can more truly straighten out your legs and access the belly of the hamstring. Press into your block, lift your hips up, and then float your low ribs up and over the tops of your thighs. Hands to the front leg line, align the spine with a halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, forward fold, pick up the block. Good. Bring the block to your chest and then press it overhead as you rise. So now the block is oriented the long way, and we're gonna work on some core strengthening with some side body stretches. Press into both feet, grow taller, and then exhale over to the right. Good, now the tendency here is to do what? Oh, collapse the right arm, but instead straighten the right arm and spin the left shoulder open. So the legs are strong and engaged. Good, zip up the core, inhale to center, and then exhale over to the left. Always length first, and then the side body stretch. Perfect, thighs back, everybody. Inhale to center. Exhale, chair pose, block to the heart center. Now take your block, again, I'm gonna use my medium orientation and place it just above my knees. Inhale your arms overhead, sit low. Squeeze that block like crazy. So the great thing about the block is it helps us to find the inner spiral of the thighs. Good. Pull the belly button in and under the low ribs. You got this. Sit lower for 3, 2, 1. Grab your block. Come on back to standing. Block overhead, over the crown of your head. Biceps float back. This asks the core to engage already. Inhale, length up. Exhale, press into your right foot as you side body stretch to the left. Nice, stay there. There's a little shaking going on. I know, me too. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Good. That's it. Stay with it. Slow breath in. Come back to center. Exhale, chair pose. Bring the block to your heart center. And then place the block. For me again, it's a medium orientation above the knees. Inhale your arms overhead. Sit lower. Yeah. Even lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to heart center, forward fold. Squeeze the block so that we find the inner and outer edges of both feet evenly. Good. Deep breath in, slow breath out, and then walk your hands back into your down dog. Good. Stay here. Shake your head out, set your gaze back toward the tops of your thighs. Lift the hips higher. Pubic bone moves back toward the heels. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Come down to your knees. Take that block away. Now we're going to use the block to set up for dolphin pose. So here's the L shape of your thumb and first finger. We're going to put that around the bottom edge of the block. From there, the elbows move straight down from the wrists, and they are above, or the elbows are directly below the shoulders. First thing, I want you to puff and round through your upper back, and then melt your heart. All right, from here, tuck your toes, lift your hips, dolphin pose. Shift your hips back, feel a stretch in your chest. And then maybe we tiptoe the toes in a little bit as the hips float higher. Good. Breathe. Shoulder strengthening. Keep hugging the forearms together. Those elbows are going to want to slide out. Commit to the shoulder integration, meaning shoulder blades are kissing on the upper back. Gaze between the elbows. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to your knees. All right. Walk your hands back and come to sitting. All right, let's give those shoulders a little roll up by the ears and down the back. Just loosen up. We're gonna roll onto our back and do some core with the block, and then move into a great hamstring series with the strap. So have your strap nearby and your block. Feet in front of you with control. We're rolling onto our backs. Tuck your chin, drag your hands down your front leg line until we are in this supine position. Take your block between your knees and simply bring your knees to your chest and grab your block and put your feet back down. That's a great option. Another choice you have is to pass the block off to your knees as you crunch up and then lower the upper body and the feet to the mat. Good. Another option is to reach up with straight legs, place the block between the feet, open up on a V, and pass the block, back and forth. Grab the block with the hands, open up, full body stretch, reach back up, capture the block with the feet, and just pass the block back and forth with straight legs or bent knees, working the core, lower abs especially. Take your time, there is no rush. Maybe you alternate between bent knees and straight legs. Three more. There's 1, 2, and 3. Good. Now bring your knees into the chest, grab that block. Perfect. Put the block aside and take your strap. With your feet hip joint width apart, bring your right knee into your chest and place the strap across the sole of your right foot. Straighten the right leg up, hamstring stretch. Stay right here, or on an exhale, stretch the left leg long. Reach through the inner left leg line as you exhale through the sole of the right foot. More airplanes. That's all right, we got this. Take a hold of both halves of the strap into your right hand. Sweep your left arm out. Pull the right knee or the right toes in toward the face, turn the right toes out, and then lower the right leg out to the side as you reach through the left fingertips and turn your gaze to the left. Good. Roll the left hip back onto the mat and see if you can even roll your left ribs to the mat as well. Remember, you have Ujjayi breathing whenever you want to access it. Slow down the exhalation. Now engage your low belly. Bring your right leg back up to center. Take both halves of the strap into your left hand. Sweep your right arm out like a wing. Now, this is such a yummy twist. Draw the right leg across your body toward the left side of your mat. Bump your left hip back to center so the right hip stacks above the left. That left leg ignites. It counterbalances this pose and allows you to feel a complete twist. Close your eyes and feel the stretch down the outside of the right leg. Exhale from the top of the right hip through the outside of the right foot. Your lower back is going to be very happy that you did this stretch. One more round of breath. I know this gets seriously intense. Good, and then roll back to center. Slide your left foot in and center your hips. Now, take both halves, one half of the strap in each hand again, and lower your right leg down. Now pull your left knee into your chest and cross the left ankle above the right knee. Now here, bend the right leg, figure 4 hip stretch with a strap. Gaze straight up, pull the knees in toward the chest, and then steer the right foot to open the hip. Your chest is broad, collarbones spread wide. You can feel almost the outer shoulders rolling onto the mat as you find the opening in the left hip. Good. Now release the strap, let your right foot fall to the ground and uncross the legs. All right, going the other way. Bring the left knee in, take the strap across the sole of the left foot and kick the left leg straight. Hamstring stretch. Deep breath in, exhale, your right leg long. Don't have to straighten the right leg if your lower back prefers it to be bent. Feel your hips grounding on the earth as you extend through the soles of both feet. One more deep breath in through your nose and exhale back out through your nose. Now turn your toes out. Take both halves of the strap into your left hand. Reach your right arm out. Good. Now slowly move the left leg out to the side. Catch the weight of the left leg on the left elbow. And then roll again. Right hip comes down, right shoulder grounds, and the gaze over the right fingertips counterbalances the pose. Let all the muscles of your face relax, your jaw, teeth separate, tongue floats to the roof of the mouth. Slow the breath down. At the end of your next exhale, engage your low belly and bring the left leg through center. Grab both halves of the strap with the right hand. Now the left arm sweeps out. Slowly lower the left leg over to the right side of the mat. Bump your right hip back to center. That's really important to stack the joints. And then turn your head all the way to the left, gazing over the left fingertips, and exhale the left shoulder to the ground. If your low back feels sensitive, you can bend your left knee to ease the sensation. Take a deep breath in, and from your left hip, exhale through the outer edge of the left foot. Stay active in the right leg. One more round of breath here. And then come back to center. Woo, that's a big one. Slide your right foot in. Take a half of the strap in both hands. And then lower the left leg down. Bring your right knee in, cross the right ankle above the left knee. Slowly bend the left knee as you flex the right foot, minimizing the torque on the right ankle and knee. And then steer the left foot, dynamically stretching the right hip. Oh. Shoulders broad on the mat. Your low back curve is evident. You could slide your fingers under your low back or at least a piece of paper. Slow your breath down, especially this next exhale. Good, now release the strap and let the left foot fall to the earth. Uncross your legs and take that block again. Where did mine go? And we're gonna end in a restorative bridge pose. Press your feet into the mat, lift your hips. Now slide the block under the sacrum. So a lot of times I see people move the block into the low back curve, and that's not going to feel very good. So make sure the block is under the sacrum, the bony part of the pelvis, just above the tailbone. Yeah? And now bring your arms to the side, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, and imagine that you're breathing through your heart center. Now toe heel your big toes to touch, and then the heels. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and let your knees fall out wide. 3 breaths here in reclined bound ankle pose. If this is uncomfortable with the block, take the block away. Good. And then release your hands by your side. Bring your knees together, press your feet into the mat, slide the block out from underneath you. Hug your knees into your chest. Release the feet to the earth. Full body stretch. Final Shavasana. Extend your arms down by your sides. Feel the breath wash over you, bringing waves of peace, of tranquility, of clarity. Stay here for as long as you wish, and when you're ready to move on, roll to one side and press yourself up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. I'm gonna take my hanging out at the campfire position. Deep breath in, slow breath out. The light and darkness in me honors and delights in the light and darkness in all of you. Namaste.